So tonight, the whole training is going to be about showing you the pricing software, but they're also helping you understand why you deserve to get paid what I tell you guys is worth. Like 4 figures is the industry. That's the new normal for premium draping. That is the new normal. All right, so getting into it, the night, like I said, we're going to talk about backdrop pricing, the calculation software, understanding how to price, how to upsell, how to add more value to your backdrop. So someone not looking at you crazy when you tell them the price, right? You want to be able to add value and let them see why it costs so much, which is another reason why I'm glad I developed the software the way I did. Because my quotes is not that detailed. I give a price and that's it, right? But some people, as they're graduating into charging more, you guys, clients might want to see the line items. They might want to see why it costs this much, why it costs that much. And if that's the case, I wanted you to be able to develop and be able to deliver something that you can show them exactly line item by line item, why it's priced at what it's priced at, right? So again, that's pretty much what we're going to we're going to talk about all that. And those of you, if anyone is new, I know it was like maybe a couple people that joined just to get this training. So guys, if you are new to this platform, I am Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy. And I pretty much help creators make more money doing exactly what they love. Why? Because I believe, you guys know it, that designers deserve more money. And my goal is to help them get it. And I'm doing it whether I'm doing client attraction methods, like helping you guys backdrop stand out, helping you attract higher paying clients, or we're building passive income by turning your passion into a profit through digital courses, through digital classes, or things that you guys see me do. I want to see a show of hands. I know some of you guys are driving, so definitely don't take your hand off the wheel. But if you are looking to make more money, like that's like, why else would you be here? So if you're looking to actually make more money doing exactly what you love, I just want you to put a 1 or something in the chat. Let me know you guys are here. Let me know you guys are listening, and let me know y'all looking to make more money. Because that's why this whole course was really created. So to help you make more money, but to help you understand why you deserve more money. So you guys go and throw those numbers. You could be a chat. It could be a number. It could be an emoji. Just to let me know that I ain't by myself. Like I'm not the only one that's okay. Thank you, Kim. I was ready to say, hello, why y'all here? Main thing is step 1, when you're thinking about your pricing, and guys, this is really relative to not just draping though. When you are pricing your services and you're pricing your offers or whatever it is, you want to think about your bottom line, right? Because determining your bottom line is going to be the most critical part of running a successful business. I can't tell you how many times I just went into things and I had no idea on really what I needed out of it, right? I did not go through my bottom line. I didn't go through my expenses. I didn't care. I didn't know no better. But now, even if you've been in any of my profit planning sessions, that's where I start from. I start from my bottom line, like what I need to make for me to be able to handle life, for me to be able to take care of life, right? That's very important because you're going to need to know this in order for you to make a profit. You can't run around. And this is one thing I told you guys. I always say this. The differentiation, whatever that word is going to come from a person's expenses. Like just because if I say, and I show you how to create a backdrop or how to price a backdrop at $1,200, it's still going to be some instances in there where it is going to be a little different. And it could be different based upon a couple of different things, right? But the range should be within range of pricing it accurately. And being able to know your bottom line will also help you not only accurately set your prices for service, but you want to make sure that you're not undercharging and leaving money on the table. I used to leave a lot of money on the table. For one, I wasn't pricing right? And then for 2, my follow-up game was weak. And also, if someone came to me, like they wanted a certain design and I didn't know how to price it, they was left on red, right? I didn't follow up with them. I didn't try to figure it out. Or if I did try to figure it out, I was way off. Like, how did I come up with that number? I don't know. I left a lot of money on the table. So not only does this help maximize your profits, guys, it's also going to help you build a reputation as a professional who values their work. I don't care what no one say about Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy. Everyone knows I am very professional. I take my crafts very seriously, and I am not about to water down my prices for no marketplace. I know what I'm worth, and my brand says that, right? So when you get in the habit of doing the exact same thing, like knowing what you're worth and realizing that your prices is set based upon your bottom line, you're going to take it so much further, a lot faster, right? Step number 2, when you are pricing and you are pricing in a way now you're happy, guess what? It's going to build your confidence. I don't know about y'all, but it surely built mine. Because before I had a broke mindset, I wasn't thinking about what I needed to take care of. I was just worried no one was going to buy, right? So I was pricing super low, or I wasn't even really effectively marketing because I was too scared somebody was going to tell me no. But building confidence is going to be key, because not only I could show you all day how to price this thing out. If you don't have the confidence to run out tomorrow and talk to your next prospect and let them understand and let them feel why you deserve to be paid what you deserve, they ain't gonna pay it. They're not gonna pay it. So in order to do that, you got to practice, right? You got to practice to improve. Even when you go to classes, you still got to practice. Guys, I'm doing some new designs in these classes that I haven't done. What y'all think your girl doing? She practicing, right? And it's a little frustrating because you got fabric all over the place, but I'm practicing. And then another thing you got to do that's going to build your confidence is higher education. You have to invest in the thing you don't know in order for you to grow. Or you can take the long route, which I hope you guys don't do. Take the long route and go through brick wall after brick wall after brick wall, only to find out that you're still going to have to invest because you still don't know, or you don't know the proper way to do it, right? So starting with the broke mindset, guys, for one, you're going to have to confront it. And you're going to have to really deal with it. Like I said, I could tell you on this training all day. Tomorrow, I don't want to see you doing no backdrops under $1,000. And you will do it if you haven't dealt with the mindset issues that make you feel like you're not worthy of $1,000 backdrop. I know exactly what that feel like, because that was me. That was me. I had a lot of crying nights, boy, when I left events. And I'm like, oh my God, that's all the money I got. Because once you subtract, it looked exciting in the beginning, but when you realize what you spent and then you realize the time you put into it, you ain't really making no money. So you have to really confront the broke mindset, right? And because for most entrepreneurs, whether you believe it or not, the key to success is really about having the right attitude on life. I'm trying to tell you, at least it was mine. It's about having the right attitude on life. Like you could operate on your left shoulder or your right shoulder, right? Positive way or negative way. And the outcome is going to be determined by how your thought process is. So you have to figure out, why do you feel like nobody is going to buy this at that price? Like, where'd that come from? Who told you that? Like, where's that coming from? Because I'm in the same industry and I don't have a problem. And when I was designing, I didn't have a problem getting paid 4 figures for a draping gig. So the point is, it's not true. They will buy it, right? It's just how you position it and how you show up. They will buy it. These is really about developing a strong sense of confidence, right? When you have confidence, I remember when I don't even think I was in draping yet. I don't know, but I was in the industry. And I was doing the events at that time, I believe. And I was out with my bestie, and they knew some young lady that was having an event, and clearly I wasn't confident. And they were like, go over there, tell her. And I was like, no, oh my God, like, what am I tell her? And long story short, they was like, if I didn't go over there, and I forgot what the threat was, but if I didn't go over there and pitch my business to this individual, I forgot what it was. But I did it. And guys, I can't tell you how I felt. Like, I was so uncomfortable. I don't feel like I knew what I was talking about. I just felt like I was pitching something that I wasn't knowledgeable in. And I went over there knowing she wasn't going to book me. I told myself that. I told myself that. Here I am, the same person, right? Even though my skills back then probably was a little not as up to par as today. But once I got over that, people started booking me immediately. So you have to get out of that broke mindset, and nobody's going to pay for it. They're going to overlook you. You're going to be, the market's too saturated. So you see how many people trying to teach draping now? You see how many people that's doing events and people that's in the same state. Like, they're going to do, if you don't have something that other people are doing, you don't got something that nobody wants. So you want to see competitors, right? But that should be the stuff that make you, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I can't tell you guys, like, so many people think my stuff is perfected. I'm like, no, I have to go back to the drawing board a lot. I'm back at the drawing board right now because this is not where I thought. I didn't think I would be back this deep in the Posh Academy right now. So it's like, I'm back at the drawing board. It's like, okay, I look at situations as if I don't have a reputation. I'm not known as all the things that everyone else see. It's like, I still got to stay relevant. In order to do that, I have to brush up on skills. I have to brush up on trends. I have to brush up on a lot of things. That's the only way you're going to maintain being a successful business owner. So never get into it where you're that comfortable, right? But the main indicator, the main thing is you got to get over that broke mindset. Like, stop listening to, I don't care what they said when you were younger. I don't care who talk about your little business. If you adapt that mentality, it's going to be a little business. If I listen to the people that I really didn't hear too much, because people, I guess they just know my drive. But I saw a couple eyebrows raised, like, what is she doing? I'm going after the gusto, baby. If I listen to the eyebrow raising, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So it's like, you really have to deal with that before you go into these things. Like, I don't know how to price it. Like I said, we could tell you all day, but until you deal with realizing, one, you deserve it, and two, your craft in itself deserves it, right? Now you could sit there and own your craft and take it to the next level to where you may deserve more than the next person, even though y'all doing the same thing. It's about how much energy you put into it. So I need you guys. It's a new year. So many people are leveling up, and I need you guys to do the exact same thing. And you're going to be able to do it very easily by just doing these simple tips, right? Don't sit there and tell yourself, oh, nobody gonna buy this, nobody gonna book me. I got, no, like, don't do that. Don't do that. So one of the ways to combat doubt is really by, and a lot of you guys are doing it, and which is a perfect thing to do. You want to surround yourself with people who believe in your vision. Because sometimes guys won't believe in our own vision. And that's cool. But when you utter, so it's you got to be in a comfortable space, because sometimes you're not supposed to utter your thoughts because everybody is not really cheering for you. But if you find that circle, you find that community where they are really rooting for you, that's one of the best places to be. I'm trying to tell you, that's one of the best places to be. You want to invest in relationships. You want to invest in friendships. You want to invest in all the ships, right? That's going to be supportive of what it is that you're trying to do, because this is going to instantly boost your confidence and your levels are going to skyrocket, right? You're going to be in a network of resources that really can provide the advice you need. It can really provide the tools you need. It can really provide whatever it is that you need that you don't have to get to that next level. Because if you had it or you knew it, you would already be there, right? So it's like, you got to connect with the next best thing that have the opportunity or have the knowledge or whatever it is that you are trying to obtain. Another thing is, you don't want to be afraid to celebrate, right? A lot of us don't. We're so in the thing, we look back and don't realize how far we've come. I am a big, not now I think I'm a little better, but I've had all this traction, I've done all these things, but guess what? When someone asks me a question, like, I was asked, what's your greatest achievement? I'm like, I don't think I got there yet. And I'm not even paying attention of everything I've done over the past couple of years, right? So it's like, you got to celebrate. If you don't celebrate it, who else wants to celebrate it? Nobody gonna sit there and look at you like, oh my God, yeah. And you sitting there like, oh, well, no, like, you got to beat your chest and pop your collar, because Rome wasn't built in a day. And if you're making the necessary strides, such as being on this training, that is making the stride toward whatever your ultimate goal is, right? You got to celebrate yourself for that. So when you're practicing, guys, practice is the old saying, practice makes perfect, right? It is one of the best things you can do in order to maintain success, in order to reach the level you're trying to reach, all that good stuff. Because if you don't practice, for one, you're going to stay stagnant. And I'm going to tell you some other trainings I have that's really helping people, like how to practice and how to find your competitors' weak spots. But practice. It makes perfect. It makes perfect. It does. And it's really important for people that's just getting started. I know a lot of people that come to this industry are just getting started, like when they take class and things like that, and they sometimes may have the connotation that this is it. Oh yeah, I got it. No, baby, we cover a lot in class, right? Now you need to take everything you've learned and go practice. You're not going to get it as soon as you go home the next day. You're not going. It's going to be fresh in your mind, but you're not going to just perfect it the way you do it the way you did it in class, because you're still new at it. You're working all the mechanics at the same time, compared to a professional that can do it with their eyes closed. So you have to practice, because practice is going to build, again, your confidence. Now you're going to show up like, oh yeah, this is $1,300. Pay me my money. That's the attitude you really need to have, right? When you're owning your stuff and you know it's good stuff. It don't matter, like the little hiccups or like things going to happen. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So that little stuff don't matter. But when you know you're putting in the effort, when you know you're making the investments, when you know you're practicing and you're doing the thing that you're supposed to do, that builds all the confidence in the world. Because the more you practice, guess what? The faster you get, the more effective you get, the neater you get. Like all these things happen, right? As opposed to someone that maybe looking at videos online, or maybe even go to a class but never pick up that fabric again, and then they go to their first event and they like, oh my God, all this happened. I'm like, girl, I told you to practice. I get those messages all the time. They like, this is my first time doing the backdrop since class. Class was a year ago. I'm like, baby, what are you doing? You have to, even if you're not going to actively seek draping gigs, you still, when it comes, you want to be up on your game. Bam, 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 right? So practice, practice, practice. Not only is it going to really build your confidence, but guys, it's also going to give you insight. And we added this in the training. I didn't even have this in the training, but we added this in the class because a young lady asked for it in the group and was saying, we need to know how to handle mishaps, right? I know almost all the mishaps. I know almost all of them. So that was really good, and that was really valuable, because I'm quite sure a lot of new people go through some of the same mishaps that happen when you're new. So when you're practicing, guess what? It helps eliminate mistakes, because now you've defined your process. Now you kind of know what you're going to do, how you set up, or as you're doing it, even though let's just say I teach you one way, you may develop an easier, more effective way to produce the same look. You won't know that unless you practice. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing and going with what I taught you, and it may not work for you. You're going to achieve the same desired look. But guess what? Let's just imagine someone like me that's 5'9", right? And I'm teaching someone that's 4'8" or 5'1". The way I drape a crossbar, they can't do that. So it's like, unless you practice to come up with your own process, you're going to get on site. You're going to be frustrated, because now as all the things are happening, right? And you can only remember what I taught you. So you have to go and practice, because that's going to build your confidence. And it's going to also help you understand your weaknesses, right? One thing for me, I learned this a little early. One of my weaknesses was in the beginning, pairing colors. I would sit there for hours, and sometimes I would give up and go back the next day, just in storage. And I would have the most problematic time trying to pair these colors, right? So I knew that was the issue. So I had to come up with a solution. So me coming up with the solution is I had to study and practice color theory. I didn't know that at first, right? I had to go and study. Again, that's me practicing my craft. So that's the same things you guys are going to have to do, right? And at the end of the day, practicing is really going to give you the advantage that you need to succeed over all the competition that's out there, because it's out there and it's growing, right? So don't get your kits and get your fabric and go to these trainings and think, oh, I got it. When I get my draping gig, I'm going to remember all the things. No, you're not. No, you're not. All the things are going to happen because you don't remember, right? And the last thing that's going to build your confidence is training. You have to pay for the things you don't know in order for you to grow, in order for you to get further, faster. Otherwise, you can sit there and waste time, try and watch these videos, then you go and try and do it. And some of you do get it. I get so many messages of, oh my God, that video was right on point. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But then it could be some of them same people. And when they come to class, they're like, oh my goodness, this is so different. Because even though they saw the video, the hand-on mechanics in class is totally different. And then is the ability of me being able to see what you're doing. So you get the personal feedback, right? So normally if you see something, I do the same thing, guys. I ain't gonna lie. If I see something online and I'm like, oh, that's how they did it. But then when I get into it and I'm trying to do it, I'm gonna do it my own way. I'm gonna do it my own way because I'm not there to ask them the questions. And if I'm having trouble, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make it work, right? So you have to definitely take time to sharpen your skills because this is going to boost your confidence, and it's all about positioning your brand to where you are commanding a premium price without you even having to open your mouth. You're commanding a premium price without you having to write a quote, without you having to give a line item invoice. You don't require all that because your presence alone, your brand alone already say she premium. That is the stuff that makes the legwork more easy, right? It's all about perception. The more you spend in your business helping people see the value, they're not going to sit there and haggle your prices because they're like, oh, I need her. I need her. And that's really what's going to make your job easier, right? So you just want to invest in any kind of training you guys need to get you to the next level. I don't care if it's systems. I don't care if it's assistant, VAs, a day of setup person, whatever it is. I no longer want people trying to do all the things by themselves. It's going to take you a long time to get to the end of the road, right? And then step 3, guys, the last thing is the buyers. This is one of the most important pieces because they the people buying your stuff. You have to pay attention to the buyers. Again, if you do this stuff in the beginning, it's going to make everything on the back end so much easier, right? Things you want to look for is who already buying what you want to sell, right? You also want to look at your competitors, their clients, like who buying from them, and then you want to show up where they are. So your ideal client, when it comes to, having a successful business, making money, all that good stuff, that is not going to happen unless you're clear on your ideal client. Even if you have let's just say a moment of success, if you're not clear on who you serve, how you serve them, and what your solution is, that moment is going to quickly fizzle out because you can have spikes, right? Anything can cause a spike. It could be a sale. It could be something trending in the universe. But if your business is not operating on a foundation that has clarity, you're not going to be able to maintain the level of success you want. Trying to tell you, my months used to go like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's how it used to go, right? Now we're pretty much good at averaging out. If I want to do something spectacular, it'll shoot to the roof, right? But I know when I go back down, I am going to hit my baseline, which I'm super cool with because I'll still be able to make my income goals. And that's only because I have a clear understanding of who I serve and what they need, right? So I'm able to come up with something, a solution to be able to handle and serve them right where they are. Whatever they're dealing with in my industry, I have something for them, right? Because they're going to go through levels and they're going to go through phases. And as long as it's not a phase that's beyond me, at that point, I'm going to be looking for them for help. But at that point, I'm always going to have something they need. So that's why the communication part is key. You have to be able to understand where they are. You have to be able to understand what are they trying to do. That's the most important thing, right? I understand what my people are trying to do, which is why I'm able to just create something magnificent that they need because we always talking. We always talking. So you also want to find out who's already buying what it is you have to offer, right? Whatever it is you want to sell. If you selling draping services, who buying it, right? What that client look like? Whether if it's a luxury client or if it's someone that does kit parties, does kit parties, what kind of client do you want to serve? Do you want to serve the higher end 15-foot backdrops, 12-foot backdrops that's elegant with all this stuff? Or you want to be regular, basic blue, red, yellow, green, themed out parties and you want to cater to that kind of client? It's really important because whatever you say to, let's say, Keisha with the what's the little train? The choo-choo train party for her son, Bam Bam. What, it ain't gonna work for over here for Elizabeth that's having this luxury wedding. You can't talk to them the same. So you definitely have to know your ideal client. Even when it comes to draping, still, like I wanted to break into the cultural theme events, right? Just because I wanted to do it. And I spent like maybe, I don't even think it was a month, guys. I really don't. I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't long. But I positioned my branding and I positioned my photos to everything that was going to only attract them, right? Because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with one of those kind of events. And it happened very, very, very quickly. And it's funny because prior to me attracting them, they didn't see they weren't interacting with my stuff. But I say, oh, this is what they like? Oh, okay, let me do this. So it's really, really, really important for you to create, even down to your backdrops, create the themes, create the color schemes, create the eye attraction candy that they're going to want to see and realize where they are, right? It's going to be super, super, super important because whatever it is you have, they have to feel like it's going to be perfect at their event, right? They have to have like, oh my God, I need that. People reach out to me to this. We don't provide draping services, right? But they're like, oh my God, do you do this? No, we don't do that. So you have to be clear on who you're trying to attract to your business. It's going to make it so much easier. And even your competitor clients, right? This is another one. Guys, I want you guys to go immediately. Spend some time tomorrow. Do your market research, right? Because when you understand the current market, you're going to be able to get ahead of the curve a lot faster. Why? Because people are lazy. Business owners are lazy. And this is the stuff they don't really spend a lot of time doing. And the smart business owners that do spend a lot of time on their market research and spend a lot of time on getting clear on their clientele, you don't see them hopping all around trying to sell to everybody. You want to know why? Because they're only talking to that specific audience that they know going to buy their stuff. And that's all they got to show up for. That is so important. It's going to eliminate you from hopping around on all of the stuff because you're just trying to land. You're just trying to get a client. No. Let's focus on your ideal client, right? Because they're the ones that's going to buy. So if you don't know, let's just say you don't know who they are. You don't know who they are right now. Go look at your competitors. I want you to go look at your competitors. Go look at their pages. Look at the people that comment on their stuff all the time. Like, y'all got to do some FBI work. We are women. We know how to do this thing. Go and look at these competitors, right? Go on their websites, right? Look at the people that's leaving them reviews. I know just because I have a client or a customer don't necessarily mean they're the type of client or customer that's going to leave me a review. The ones that leave me reviews, I love them to death because they're doing stuff they don't really have to do. So they're the ones I find myself going over and beyond for stuff I know I wouldn't really do for a regular customer, right? Because it's outside of what I provide. But those guys, like, it's almost like nothing they can't really ask you because they're commenting, they're posting, they reposting, they sharing. They're the people you want to take care of. And to easily find them, you want to find those kind of people that's on your competitor sites, right? If they're that active on your competitor site, 9 times out of 10, if you're able to attract them and treat them just as good, if not better, they'll be that active on your site as well. So definitely, guys, go on your competitor sites, check them out, see what they're saying. But another thing, guys, another spin, see what they're complaining about because somebody will put you on blast fast, right? So if you have competitors and, you know, if they have some complaints or whatever the case may be, you better straighten up your backyard and realize that's not something you want to do because you don't want to be put on blast. So it's like really doing your market research can really just save you so much time, guys. At the end of the day, it's really all about saving you a lot of time. And getting, like I said, getting you further faster. You want to be able to create competitive pricing, right? Now, the downside is that not everybody put pricing on their websites. But again, we women, I know you know how to get around that. At least it gives you a baseline. It's not to say go copy their prices, no, but this is how you're going to learn what's the industry standard in your area. Because what it is here in Atlanta, I'm quite sure it's not the same in LA. So that is important, right? That's the stuff you want to consider. And lastly, guys, last but not least, you want to show up. You want to show up wherever the people at, right? If they shopping for your services online, You should have a strong online presence. I don't care. I don't want to hear about I don't like social media. Get somebody else do it. You can't afford to not have a presence online if that's where people are shopping, right? If they are shopping at exhibits, you need to be there. Go get a booth. It was funny because I did this training. I did it up. I think, I don't know, maybe two days ago. And I had Keisha in the group like, hey, I'm doing my first thing. And I was like, girl, that's what it's about. Like, sometimes you got to think outside the box, and you got to put your brand in people's faces, right? You got to put your brand in people's faces. And you got to be able to develop such a brand presence where they're like, oh my God, who that? Who is that? What they got? Right? So if you're going to these style shoots or you're going to these booths, like, make your exhibit stand out. Make your booth stand out. Like, I saw a booth the other day. I can't remember the state, but it was somebody in the industry. Can't remember. But the booth, I thought it was an event. I was like, oh, okay. It was fabulous. It was beautiful, right? And I know it's a lot of work, but can you imagine how many people that they could have attracted at that event? Main people you're gonna have is brides, people that's getting married, people that's looking for services, right? Now you will have, I ain't gonna lie, you will have a couple of them in there that's looking for ideas. A couple of DIYs, they will go to say, oh, I could do that myself. Don't worry about them. That ain't who you want. That ain't who you want. But people purposely go to those events because they're looking for the cream de la creme. They're looking for people that's going to wow them, right? So that's how you want to be. And if they, no matter where they at, the whole point is to be visible, show your brand presence as the industry expert, right? So that you can actually get paid like one. Now, any questions? And you have to work faster. Okay, so now I'm ready to go over to the pricing calculator, which is my next page. Let me see if I could get it here. Let me stop this share. While I'm doing this, guys, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat.